Welcome to the KDFL Fantasy Football Podcast. It's me, Brett Steele, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. Jonathan Detroit Haynes. How's it going, man?
Yo, 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 what's up, fellas?
What's up? Also joining us, Mr. Phil Ruxy. Phil, how you doing?
What's up, guys? I'm doing pretty well. Ready for another show here.
Good. So, week 5 in the NFL is in the books. I'm coming out of it without a head coach on the other side now, so definitely not the way the season I anticipated the season going. I'll go ahead and kick it to you guys first. Give me a couple of your reactions to NFL Week 5 season.
Well, my Lions didn't lose, so it was a good week for me. So I wasn't angry or upset. I'd say a couple of things stood out to me was Chicago keeps on winning. I did not expect them to beat Tampa Bay last Thursday.
Right.
And the Raiders, man, just scoring at will against that Chiefs. The defense, I guess, isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. So those are two of the things that stuck out to me.
I think in terms of the Raiders and Chiefs, Ruggs on that offense makes all the difference in the world because they can really Carr can throw deep because there were teams that were double covering the under routes because how much he would dump it off or check it down, but Ruggs extends that offense out quite a bit, so they definitely seem to have things clicking in Vegas, much to Matt's happiness.
Yeah, speaking of the Bucs and the Bears, that's actually the first time Brady has lost to the Bears. He's 5-1 now in his career against the Bears. Of course, those first 5 wins came as a Patriot. So
he's 0-2 now against Nick Foles.
That's true. Yeah.
The kryptonite.
He's 0-2. 0-2.
0-2. Yes.
Second down.
Good radio, Detroit, with the 4 held up. And looking at these games, Burrow comes back down to earth against Baltimore. That defense is starting to really find its footing, holding them to only 3 points. That's to be expected in your first year. Alex Smith comes back. Everybody was on kind of pins and needles watching him come back and come back into NFL play. You're just hoping.
Yeah, every time he got sacked, you would hope he would get back up. I mean,
right.
It was nerve-wracking to watch.
The Jets lose again, of course. Adam Gase somehow still there. Doesn't make any sense to me. They cut Le'Veon Bell. So, I mean, it's just a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, they're awful. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, do they give up on Sam Darnold already?
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think you can.
I think you got to get him a new coach.
Right, you get another offensive system in there, just to see what can be done. Like we've talked about before, Robbie Anderson becomes the number 1 wide receiver. Le'Veon Bell was the best running back in the history of fantasy for I think it's like an average points per game, and obviously he's been terrible with New York. Ryan Tannehill leads the league in completion percentage or rating, one of the two. And he was awful under Gase, so too much evidence there.
Yeah, we all know you're a big Gase fan.
Not a big Gase fan. I am a Darnold believer, but I mean, it is this next time is going to have to be put up or shut up with him. Speaking of teams without coaches, the Texans get their first win of the season over the Jaguars. Offense looked good. Brandon Cooks comes back to life with 161 yards in the air.
And why would you mention him?
I don't know. I don't know. Could be on a certain fantasy team. Who's to say?
Oh, okay. Of course.
You have to go ahead and mention Watson too, right? 359 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Watson looked good. So that's interesting to see. In Atlanta, of course, we lose to Carolina. That's a game you kind of have to win to save your job if you're Dan Quinn, and like always, he didn't do it. So to me, it's the move that had to be made, and we'll see. I haven't had to do a new coaching search in over 5 years, so we'll see. Angie.
Falcons are 0-5 for the first time since 1997.
97. And what happened the year after, boys?
They lost in
Super
the Super Bowl?
Bowl. Yes, they lost, but they went to the Super
That's true.
Bowl. My interesting stat of the week. Are you ready?
Sure.
Baker
No.
Mayfield tied a very famous quarterback for wins at First Energy Stadium
I
this
saw
week.
this.
Yes.
Ben
11.
Roethlisberger.
He ties Big Ben.
Wow, Ben's won that many there?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I
Plays
guess
there
he's been.
once a year. He's been in the league, since
Yeah.
2004? That's 16. So he's
Wow.
5. Assuming he didn't miss it. I'm sure he has missed a game or two.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Okay, so then we go to Dallas now. The injury
How
felt
about
around the
them?
league. Yeah, so obviously a key member of my fantasy squad goes down.
Well, of course, I always have to come back to your fantasy.
Well, yeah, this is a big deal. But Tony Romo with the all-time line of "We're hoping it's just a cramp," as his foot dangles there.
That was amazing.
So hopefully he'll come back. It'll be interesting to see when he does come back how he manages the running. If he makes more business decisions as far as stepping out of bounds or slide, because he was a little bit of an aggressive runner before. Because he's not a small guy. So
And they'll probably still win the division.
yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dalton is. Here's the question: is Dalton still the best quarterback in that division? Possible. Wentz.
Yeah, I mean,
That's it. Alex Smith, maybe. Kyle Allen.
yeah,
Jones.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he'd still be the best quarterback in that division with this.
What
So,
a terrible
could be, yeah.
division.
It's bad. It's bad. It is bad this year. Because they always say, I hear, well, not they always say, I've heard a lot of people say that Dalton could give you 75% of Dak. If they get 75%, that's pretty big.
I guess that's all you need in that division.
Yeah, and we saw him stretch it a couple times with Gallup there on the final drive. So we'll see if that. I don't like the outlook for their wide receivers because I think it's going to be more, not as much, but if it's some, then we'll see.
So real quick, do you think? I hate to do this after this, but do you think he should have taken the contract offer that he had?
Yes.
No, even knowing what if he didn't know what you know now? Should he have?
Yes.
What did
Yeah,
he turn down? I can't remember.
I think he should have.
In football, it's hard to play that one
Wasn't
year.
Wasn't it like 5 years for 130 million or something like that?
I don't know.
I mean, it was still a lot of money.
It would have paid him as the highest, right?
It would have
Or
been up there, yeah. I think it was like second or third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's in a sweet situation in Dallas with the weapons around him, so it's hard to believe that a team that would pay him would also have the weapons to put around him. So it gives Jerry was losing all his leverage this year. That's one thing because his defense was trash. So Dak was getting a lot more stats, like we talk about.
Yeah.
But this puts leverage back in Jerry's favor because now you've been hurt before. And who knows if you're still, all those questions will keep in. Who knows if you're still the same guy, even though nothing happened with any part of throwing mechanic. It's still, that's how that works. Speaking, our text. What was the name, Detroit? What was the name? There, we got a text in.
I believe it was Jeff from Saline, Michigan.
Saline, Michigan.
Yes.
Says, I'm going to try to edit this PG if I can remember exactly.
Oh man, you're censoring.
I gotta censor it a little. We have seen all the effects that no true preseason has had on conditioning. Injuries appear to be more prominent than they have been in the past. With that being said, which turnover was yada yada Jimmy Garoppolo's ankle responsible for?
What was that? Was that the exact text?
I've edited it for SEC reasons.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, I appreciate Jeff texting. It's always good to get a text from a fan.
Weird hatred of Jimmy G, Jeff, but very nice.
Yeah. I mean, it just came out of nowhere. I don't know. That one he threw up, it was like a wounded duck that got picked off. I don't know, maybe it was near midfield. That one was pretty bad.
I don't want to defend Jimmy G, but the ankle definitely plays a role in your ability to plant and push power through and put the ball where it needs to go.
Yeah, I just don't. I think Jimmy is what we're going to see. I think he was helped out here with that awesome defense, and they had a great running game. and they were able to control the clock. He's just not the type of quarterback that's going to bring you from when you're down by a couple scores. He's not the type of quarterback that's going to lead you back. He's like he's a manager.
Yeah.
It became such an insult now. Yeah, I will say with experience that if you can't succeed as a quarterback in that offense, it does set you up for success. It's kind of and you can't put that type of investment. Like if you're telling me I got a Teddy Bridgewater, well, I don't even have that because Teddy B's a guy that won't go out and light it up, but won't lose you a game. If you're telling me that, I can't have this type of contract with Jimmy G, and that type. You know what I mean? That's you're the guy. Type of contract, type of money that you need to go out and win us some games when everything else is falling off. So I don't want to make too big a deal out of one terrible game. They've all had them. They've all had multi-pick games. So, but
well, I'm looking at. Let's see. Oh no, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. I apologize.
amazing as always. Well done, consummate professional.
I mean, I try my best. I can't always be the best. I was just looking at completion percentage here, and I don't even see him in the top 33.
Oh, I mean, it's percentage, so I don't know, but he missed the last 2 games.
Well, he still played 3 games.
That's true.
Well, part of 3 games.
Now, real quick, and then we'll get to your power rankings just to wrap it up. The big contentious thing on Sunday night, Minnesota and Seattle, the famous going for it, 4th and 1, and your opponent's 6. You're up by 5. You've been running on Seattle all night long. Very effective, no matter who it was. Cook dominates. Madison comes in. He also dominates. I want to get your all's opinion. Where you stand on that call.
Well, how much were they up by again? I forget.
Up by 5.
Up by 5. I would have kicked the field goal. I know it's easy to say that. We're doing a little Monday night quarterback in here, but
I mean, our reactions also, for the record, in our Discord, not to cut you off already, our reactions were also out there before it happened.
Right.
Okay, so go ahead. Sorry.
I think you kick it because you go up by 2, or you go up by a score and a 2-pointer. There's still, a minute? Mm-hmm. At worst case scenario, you're going to go in overtime because there's no way they can come down and beat you. But by not getting it, now you've screwed yourself. That if they score the touchdown, you lose the game, and that's what happened. So,
I mean,
I would have kicked the field goal.
I think I like going for it there, to be honest. Especially where they were on the field, I mean, I think you're not expecting them to drive all the way down the field like that, to be honest, and with that short little amount of time. I mean, so I don't know.
All right, so my reaction to it, and it was a little bit of a disagreement in the thread. Would you say I'm probably one of the biggest analytics guys in our group? I think I might be.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, I mean, just as far as looking at it, but it gets taken too far when you don't. Because for the record, I'm the guy who thinks you should never kick the extra point. You should always go for 2. I love you're up by you get down by, or you get up by 14, whatever it is. You're down by 14, sorry, and you go for 2, and it's the weird one that happened last year. Remember, that was a bunch of arguments. But you have to take into account the scenario that you're in. We're pouring the rain. We're on the road in Seattle, down by 5. We're up by 5. You can kick the field goal to go up at least 1 score. You absolutely cannot lose now, at least in regulation. You cannot lose. What?
That's what I said.
Yeah, right. You cannot lose. If you think Russ is going to drive down the field, he's still going to be able to drive down the field after you make the field goal. That doesn't change, except now you don't lose the game. So, and if you're able to drive, if you've been running on them all day, you'll be able to do that in overtime. If your defense can get stops because they played okay, you should be able to do that in overtime. But at least you're giving yourself. You make that, you get that first down 80% of the time, but you also are bringing in other factors: a bad handoff to the running back, a slip and fall in the rain, him choosing the wrong hole to run through, which is what Madison had. He had a wide open lane to run through and get that first down. But I love analytics. I love how we're going to more of this, going for it on 4th down, not kicking the extra point, not kicking the easy field goal when we have a certain situation. but you do always have to put it in the proper context and evaluate the whole situation. So that's why, and a lot of people love that call, but
Well,
that's why I'm
look
out
at
on it.
look at it this way though. All those things could happen on the kick too. What if the snapper drops the ball, or he misses the kick? I mean, you're still in the same situation.
I think
And
that's
not,
much more likely to not happen than messing up the run. It's just,
but I
I
would,
mean, we're splitting hairs a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying.
yeah.
I'm more comfortable with execution on the field goal kick than I am with execution on the run play of things going on. But yeah, that's a valid point as well. All right. Oh, by the way, Justin Herbert is very good. That's your Monday night recap. Saints are lucky as always. Whatever.
Yep.
Detroit.
Yes.
It's time, buddy. Your power ranking segment of the week.
Woo.
Last week was favorite fantasy players, not on your team. This week, what do you have for us?
Well, this one, I think it's an easy one. It's going to be, and I think you've touched on this before, and that's power rank me your best 5 NFL helmets. No, we're going helmets. Now, I was gonna do logos, but I figured, let's make it the helmet. So, you guys, while you take your time there, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my list, which took me forever to do because I kept going back and forth, scratching them off. For me, number 5, and it's a big fan of everybody, is the Chargers. I love that lightning bolt. The lightning bolt's awesome. It's pretty cool. They kind of play around with their helmets now, don't they? A little bit, changing the colors.
Yeah.
So I do like the white with the lightning bolt. All right, for number 4, I went with the Kansas City Chiefs. I love the arrowhead. I love the red and white. I just think it's a really cool look. So that's my number 4. Number 3 might be a little controversial here, as I love the Buffalo Bills helmet. And it's white. It's classic. It's got the little red stripe there with the bill. So that's my number 3. Number 2 is America's team. I love it. I love the star. It's just everybody, when you see a star, you think Dallas Cowboys. So it's classic to me.
Yeah.
And my number 1 is the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the pirate with the eye patch or whatever. I just love it. Just classic. I think of those 70s Raiders teams and the old NFL films clips.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I like it. Phil, you ready? You want me to go?
I can go next.
All right, go ahead.
Kind of just threw this together, so I'm not sure I'll agree with it later. But
that is the segment, Phil, where we just throw it together.
I know. Number 5, I went with the Buccaneers. I don't know. Something about it, I like it. Yeah, whatever. I knew you were going to do that. Number 4, I like the Texans for some reason.
The Texans? Wow.
Yeah, I just like the look of I don't know. It looks kind of futuristic a little bit, the way it's shaped. I don't know. Number 3, I have the Chargers. I like the Chargers as well. Number 2, I think it's a toss-up between these two. And you guys aren't going to like one of them, I'm sure. I'm going to go Titans at number 2.
The Titans?
The new ones are nice. It was hard, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like their colors.
Yeah, I like the color. I think the colors are what makes me like the helmet the most. And then number 1, I'm going to go with the Rams. I really like the Rams.
I like the blue and yellow Rams. I don't like the blue and white.
Yeah.
That they go with sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I like both. I think. I think the yellow one's better.
Let me speak on it here.
Oh, gosh.
Number 5 is the Atlanta Falcons' new helmets for one reason.
Oh.
Chrome face mask, boys. Only team in the league to do it. Giant logo. Logo is but the chrome face mask set it apart. Number 4 is the Rams with the beautiful yellow with the horns, as always. Number 3 is the KDFL Bills. I love the charging bill and the Americana colors of red, white, and blue. Number 2 is the Los Angeles Chargers. I've always loved that uniform with the lightning bolt. And number 1, you guys are ridiculous. It's the best helmet in the league. Cincinnati Bengals with the tiger stripes. What is it, boys? We say it every time. Y'all already forget. It's the only helmet in the league that is not a sticker.
Yeah, I mean, I The Bengals will be in my top 10. Not bad.
Best uniform in the league.
Actually, a couple teams that are just outside mine are the Seahawks, because I do like the Seahawks. And I really like the Eagles helmet.
I had a tough time leaving Washington off, but they don't have a daggone logo right now. But their collars with their face mask pop a lot with that yellow. But I can't. They don't have a logo. So if it was 1958, that number logo would look pretty cool. But yeah. All right. So that was pretty good. Pretty good. Now, are we ready for the KDFL portion? Let me get set up with where I need to be. All right. So a wild week in the KDFL. Let's get it going. We're going to start in Kanawha County as the Kanawha County Kings welcome the Montrose Mega Powers. Watson starts off the Mega Powers with 27. Drew Brees finally has a decent game with 21 for the Kings. Gurley and Ridley combining for 46 was not enough. And what is going to be our closest game of the year and is definitely on a stat correction. It's probably our closest game in many years. The Kings pull off the upset, winning 217. Let me get this right. 217.96 minus 217.77. All right. Wild game there. Very painful. Next up, we have the Roxalana Renegades hosting the Hurricane Wampus Cats. Like I said in our NFL reactions, Justin Herbert is having off to a great start to his career. He scores 31. Jared Goff pours in 26 for the Renegades, but Kyler Murray and Hopkins combine for 51 points, and the Wampus Cats send the Renegades to 0-5 as they win 233 to 222. Now we go to Dogtown, where the Dogtown Dobermans host the 2-2 Charleston Methadones. Rookie linebacker Patrick Queen leads the Methadones with 30. Doberman's running back Miles Sander pours in 24, but it is Derek Carr to the rescue, pouring in 27, and the Methadones win 261 to 220. Now we have the Elkview River Rats visiting the Polka Pharmacist. DK Metcalf, as much as to my chagrin, scores in 29. Gardner Minshew leads the Polka Pharmacist with 22 of his own, and Aaron Donald, beast on the defensive line for the River Rats, pours in 26, and the River Rats win 257 to 224. Now to Cross Vegas we go next, where the Cross Vegas Gamblers host the Marmette Midnight Riders. Thielen lights it up for the Gamblers, leading all teams with 29. Teddy Bridgewater lights up the Atlanta Falcons secondary, scoring 23, and CeeDee Lamb ports in 21 for the Gamblers, and the Gamblers win 228 to 217. Now, our game of the week. The 4-0 Knightsdale Dragons visit the 4-0 Glasgow Gunslingers in our game of the week. Derrick Henry scores 20 last night for the Dragons. Patrick Mahomes against the Raiders pours in 32, and Zeke pours in 24. Will Fuller scores 17. That's second for the Dragons. That's about it, because they put in a whopping 170 points. So the Gunslingers win our game of the week, 223 to 170.
Ooh.
So for the third straight week, the game of the week loser is the team eliminated from the KDFL Eliminator.
Your team is not good. I mean, let's be honest here. They're not good.
And that's it for your Week 5 rundown. That is very hard to do off the fly. So, there you go, boys. What do you think?
Well, I mean, this week, the scores were down a lot this week. I mean, previous weeks, it seems like everybody was around 300. There was only 2 teams this week with scored over 250. I was one of them.
Wow.
I don't remember who the other team was.
You were one of those teams?
I'm sure whoever it was, they'll let us know.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know this person will let us know.
Yeah. Scoring over 250, that's big, man.
Yeah, so there were some close games. Like your game I guarantee it's coming down to a stat correction.
We'll see.
It could be anybody. So who knows who's going to win that? We'll have
There
to
probably
adjust.
has been a closer game, but I don't know it. So
I doubt it.
0.2 is wild. You can make
Yeah,
a
that's
0.1. So
yeah. Really? Is that how that works?
yeah, man.
But yeah, a lot of the games were actually pretty close this week. There's only a couple games that were out of hand. So
Yeah.
but another week in the books.
Another week in the books. Phil, sorry, buddy. The Eliminator has struck you, and now we're getting into to Brett territory, where we're in the middle of the road. So that's where my team usually ends up. So
Yeah, I was the only team not to score 200, of course. So I guess the Philadelphia line fits this week.
Phil Doza. All right.
Also,
Go
Brett,
ahead.
I forgot. I didn't realize. Well, I remember you said last week that the game of the week losers have lost or have been eliminated 2 weeks in a row.
Mhm.
Now it's 3. That's crazy. So it's gonna be 4 next week, obviously.
Oh, and I have a great stat that I did look up myself, and this year is right. This year is not made up. So Eric lost this week on the Lions bye, and we thought he was going to pull it out, but strong showing by the Wampus Cats negates that. When is the last year that the Renegades have won a game on the Lions bye week?
I love that you did the research.
I did. I went through every year, and according to my research.
Mr. Fields, I'm going to say it's been at least 3 years.
Okay. The league started in 2012 for the record. Phil, do you have a guess?
Okay, I'll say 2017.
Okay.
Has it ever happened? I don't know.
It has happened.
Okay, 2015. That's what I got.
He beat the Kanawha County Kings in 2014.
6 years?
6 years.
Wow.
Quite a while.
Wow.
So that's your KDFL factoid
Oh,
of the week.
Eric's going to love this.
Yeah. So. All right. So, boys, it's our very special moment as we get into week 6.
I've been hyping this up.
As we get into week 6, it is our first celebrity guest on the show. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce right now the Mr. Can't believe I'm doing this. Mr. Hardcore legend himself, Mick Foley. Take it away, Mick.
This is for the KDFL podcast crew, booked by Jonathan Haynes. And Jonathan, Jonathan wanted me to say some things here. And granted, the money's good on these overpriced Foley videos, but roasting people, it's not really my thing. I believe in kindness, and so I'm going to have to pass on this one. But luckily, I have a friend of mine who does has no qualms about this type of thing. He excels at it, and I'm going to let him take over from here. Okay, just a second. Okay, buddy, you're up. Ow, Daddy, it's Dude Love. Oh, and I would like to address the KDFL podcast crew, otherwise known as the greatest collection of nerds living in America. Oh, Daddy, now don't get me wrong. I am a big fan of Detroit, but as far as Brett, stop your shouting and Phil. Oh, Daddy, the dude wants you to get a personality, brother. Oh, and I have... Oh, dude's got to go. Sorry, dude's got to go. Why you be so difficult on these people, dude? They put out... They're football players. They take the hits. They put their lives on the line. Daddy, they're not football players. They're pretend football players. Oh. What do you mean by that? They're not the guys taking the snaps and taking the hits. Daddy, it's a fantasy football league. How? Fantasy? It's a fantasy football league. I'm going to have to second that emotion, that with the exception of Detroit, this is the largest collection of nerds I've ever seen. Oh, my God. You have a commissioner for a fake league? Like, he's a commissioner, but it's not even a real league? Oh, my goodness, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Dude, you got to talk to these guys. Oh, Daddy, I told you. I told you, Daddy. It's the biggest collection of nerds I've ever seen in North America. We're talking about, Commissioner Germ. A make-pretend commissioner. Talking about, Mikey, I don't likey, Mikey, Eric. Yeah, Keith, Tim. God. Listen, the dude's gonna go back to real stuff like WWE. You guys have fun with your little fantasies, fantasizing about guys wearing tight pants with type of loser. The dude wishes you well, though, in all your future endeavors. Hang in there, Detroit. You're still my main man, but, Phil, I'd like you to go on a little quest and try to find a personality, Daddy. Have mercy. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh man, there it is. Hardcore legend himself,
I
Mick
feel like I was attacked. Who
Foley,
attacked me?
on the KDFL podcast airwaves.
I guess I could always just ask him if I could borrow one of his 37 personalities, right?
There you go.
That might be a good idea.
Looky there, taking a shot at
That
Mick Foley. That
He'll
was
never see it.
amazing.
that was incredible. Incredible.
Oh,
That was
what?
pretty awesome. Yeah.
That is, I can't, I'm speechless.
Yeah, shout out Mick Foley for coming on and doing that for us. Detroit really knows some people in high places.
That's right.
Way to
I have
come through.
connections, people.
Way to come through. I don't really have. I mean, that was pretty awesome. Slams the commish.
Yes.
Mikey, me no likey.
I got slammed
did-
twice, though. What the
You
hell?
did.
Yeah, some. Unfortunately, you didn't name everybody, but that was pretty good. Classic.
The Detroit or the Phil line will live in infamy on the KDFL. We need to try to cut that to have that for an open or something.
Yes.
So
Phil, you're gonna have to go find one, buddy.
the never-ending quest for a personality for Phil.
I don't know where to look. So
All right, with no greater send-off than that, let's go ahead and get started on our KDFL Week 6. We're going to start it off with the 5-0 Glasgow Gunslingers, the aforementioned commish, traveling to Dogtown to take on the 0-5 Dobermans. Detroit, take it away.
Well, once again, I'm not really prepared, so I did look at this a little bit. I did do a little bit.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, no. I originally looked, if you looked at the schedule and you saw Jared Goff at San Francisco, you're like, that doesn't look good. But San Francisco's defensive backs look terrible, so that's a big plus for the Renegades.
Well,
yeah, that's
we're on Dogtown Dobermans, but other than that, it's a good one.
Look to the other game.
Gunslingers and Dobermans.
Oops.
I love it. You started that with. I'm prepared a little bit for this one. Here we go. Watch me do my magic, boys.
My notes has the game orders in wrong area. Wrong. So, the wrong order. All right.
That'd be all right.
As I was saying, I love Patrick Mahomes this week.
Yep.
I think he's going to have a big game against the Bills. The Bills struggled yesterday, so
yeah,
maybe it's something to keep an eye on. Zeke in Arizona, I think he'll be fine. As for the Dobermans, he's running out there with Josh Allen and Big Ben. That's pretty two good quarterbacks when you're in fantasy football.
Yeah.
And his running backs are coming around. Connor's scoring some points. Sanders for the Eagles is looking really good. But his receiver's a little light. I mean, he does have ODB. I think it's going to be closer than what the spread is saying because, right now, it says minus 30.
Yeah.
I think the Gunslingers win in a close one.
Phil.
Yeah, I mean, for the Gunslingers, with the exception of Jimmy G, they're basically firing on all cylinders right now. And as Detroit said, Mahomes gets the Bills this week, who are near the bottom against quarterbacks in fantasy. James Robinson gets a good matchup against the Lions as well. He had a down week last week, but I expect him to bounce back this week. And the Dobermans matchups just aren't good for their offensive players. 5 out of their 9 players are facing a top 10 defense versus that position. And as Detroit was saying, wide receivers, it's not looking good for the Dobermans. Two of his guys are questionable as well, so they may not even play. I think it's going to be more than 30, actually. I think the Gunslingers are going to win pretty big.
All right, so looking at this, the Dobermans to be 0-5. I mean, not a bad football team here with those running backs, and with the Josh Allen's been killing it. Big Ben's, he's doing okay.
Yeah. He's had some bad breaks in these games.
He has had some bad breaks, and a tough schedule to start because you got to look. He's going from Matt now to Jerem, so the Methadones to the Gunslingers, so a tough stretch here. I kind of lean more towards the Detroit way, where it's going to be a little bit closer, but I am also going with the Gunslingers. Next up, the 0-5 Roxanne Renegades travel to Polka to take on the 2-3 Pharmacists. Now I hear Jared Goff's playing in this game. Detroit, what do you think about that?
I like Jared Goff this week. Like I was, San Francisco is not what we were expecting on defense, at least. So I do like that matchup. He's going to have to I'm sure he's putting in Stafford. He doesn't have him in his lineup right now.
Oh, you can be sure.
I'm sure. And of course, Galladay will be there. So the point spread is going to be a little bit closer than what we're seeing on here. Tom Brady against the Packers. That's going to be interesting for the Pharmacist. Gaskins should score a lot against the Jets. This game, I don't know. I'm going to have to stick with – I'm going to go the Renegades getting their first win of the season.
All right. Phil.
Yeah, as Detroit was saying, Tom Brady versus the Packers. I feel like that's going to be a high-scoring game. I really do. So I think he could put up some points. And McLaurin versus the Giants, that's a good matchup. I think he's going to bounce back this week. He only had 3 catches and 26 yards last week against the Rams. So I think he's going to outperform those numbers. Gardner Minshew has a pretty good matchup against the Lions as well. Then you go to the other side with the Renegades. He's got some really good matchups pretty much across the board, and he has the Lions back this week, so that's good. That's half of his starters, it seems like. And Mike Davis is holding his own, filling in for McCaffrey. Over the last 3 weeks, he's averaged 25 points per game. And I expect him to keep that up. So I think I'm going to go Renegades in this one as well.
Wow. Dang it.
I know. I was doing the same thing you were doing, Detroit. Tom Brady, that matchup with Green Bay, I think it is going to be tough on him. That defense is playing well. There could be a lot of points, though. They do have the Detroit and Jaguars. They have both of them, but the Renegades have Stafford. Go on. McLaurin versus the Giants. The Giants are doing a good job shadowing on their defense. You see Amari Cooper didn't do much. Waller on bye. Are we going to do this? Yeah, let's do this. A consensus. This is definitely a first. I know. I thought it was just going to be me and you. A consensus 0-5 pick on the Renegades in one of our either greatest or most disrespectful selections in the history of the show.
I would like to go ahead and congratulate the Pharmacist on their win.
Right. I mean, I don't know if rose-colored glasses or what, but I'm seeing Galladay and Stafford get the Jaguars D.
And he's got Leonard on the bench.
I mean, Golden Tate, or I'm sorry, not Golden Tate. Jonathan Taylor gets the Bengals. Mike Davis is probably his last hurrah because you would think McCaffrey's coming back soon. Renegades moved to 1-5. If that was one of us in that game, the other one would be screaming right now. So moving right along. Next up, the 2-3 Kings taking on the 3-2 Gamblers. Troy, what do you see here?
Well, the Kings don't have Breeze this week, and he, like you said, he finally had a good game. So I'm assuming he's going to go with Drew Lock in his lineup.
You playing? Is Drew Lock playing?
I don't know. It says he's going to average 14.63 points according to ESPN.
Yeah, I think he's coming back this week.
Yeah. So I'm starting to like Ronald Jones. He's looks like he might be the number 1 back in Tampa. So I do like that. For the gamblers, there's no Cook, but he's got
Got the handcuff, yeah.
he's got the handicap
Madison.
Madison in his lineup. So he'll be all right there. I do love his linebackers. Lamb has been pretty big for the Cowboys. He's getting a lot of points. So I'm actually going to go ahead and stick with my original thought, and I'm going to go with the gamblers.
Phil.
Yeah, as Detroit was saying yet again, Drew Brees is on a bye this week after a good game, so that could be a problem for the Kings. I'm liking Ronald Jones as well. He's got a good matchup against the Packers. I think, though, it's going to be a high-scoring game, though, so he may not get a lot of work because Brady might have to throw a lot. And then, of course, Cousins, if he's ever going to have a good game this year, it's going to be this week against the Falcons defense. And then on the other side for the gamblers, Cook's got a good matchup as well against the Falcons. And if Carson Wentz can just be average, I think they can hold on for the win. So I'm going to go with the gamblers over the Kings here.
It looks like we probably have another consensus here because I do love Kirk Cousins for the Kings getting the Falcons. The problem is he's playing the team that has Adam Thielen. So how's that going to go down? If Cousins goes off, Thielen's figures to have a large part in that. Madison as well should have a big game. Carson Wentz, that's a tough game against Baltimore. But you know what is even tougher is Drew Lock again at New England coming off an injury. So because of all those reasons and the defensive the defense of the gamblers, I didn't want to make it a third consensus. It's very boring when we do this, but value being right over anything else. So I will go with the gamblers getting the win over the Kings. All right. Next up, we have the Hurricane Rumpus Cats at 2-3, traveling to Elkview to take on the 4-1 Elkview River Rats.
Well, I hate picking against myself.
Oh boy! I just saw this juicy line on this one. -16 for the Wampus Cats. It's early still, and all the lines are set, but that surprised me off the bat. So I had to scream at the top of my lungs against McFord's wishes.
I'm hurting this week. I got no Chris Carson, no DK Metcalf. Nick Chubb is on the IR right now, so it's not looking good for me. I do get Aaron Rodgers back this week, so I'll have Lamar and Rodgers in the lineup. I still have Kelsey. He's going to score points. I'm going to have to run out there with Juju and Claypool after Claypool with that monster game. And I think Deontay Johnson is still banged up for Pittsburgh. So, but man, I'm hurting at running back. I got Henderson Jr., who basically gets a third of the carries because the Rams are out there throwing out 3 running backs. I got Zach Moss in my lineup, who's been hurt since week 1. So either I'm going to have to pick someone up on the waiver wire or make a trade. And you guys got a running back I can get?
Actually. We'll talk about that in my game.
Okay. For the Wampus Cats, I like his matchups. I like Freeman against the Washington football team. He's getting Devontae Adams back, which, hurts me because I got Rodgers. So anything he gets there is going to hurt me. So Hopkins against Dallas, oh my gosh, it's just he's going to score a ton of points. So with all that said, I'm going to take the L this week. Going with the Wampus Cats.
To the Wampus Cats. Phil.
Yeah, I mean, Metcalf and Carson being on a bye could be a problem this week. You do have Smith-Schuster, though. He's got a good matchup against the Browns over near the bottom against receivers. And Chase Claypool, I mean, that guy's looking ridiculous right now. Like you were saying, though, you got Rodgers against the Bucs. I think that's going to be a high-scoring game, though. So I think you're going to get a lot of points there. And I'm sure Adams will have some points from that connection, but I don't know if he'll have all of them. But the Wampus Cats matchups across the board are they're really good. I feel like it's a perfect storm this week for the River Rats to get the loss. So I'm going to go with the Wampus Cats as well.
Yeah. These matchups are ridiculous. It's hard to see Rodgers going off without Adams being a crucial piece when you're actually playing a competent defense. The Murray and Hopkins at Dallas, that might be the tell of the whole thing right there. So with your running backs, Henderson and Moss. Moss just, I mean, since the injuries, just
He got his,
hasn't been good.
yeah, he got his first full practice in the other night.
Yeah, so he should come back. But yeah, not enough points here. If you're gonna win, it's gonna have to be from the defensive end. So we'll see if that can come up big for you. But I also, surprisingly, I did not know this line until we started looking. We'll take the Wampus Cats to get the victory here.
Thanks,
Oh,
guys.
I know, man. I know. I didn't want to do it. Actually, I did very much want to do that. All right, next up, the next up game, the Nightdale Dragons travel way up north to take on the Charleston Methadones, Detroit.
Man, I didn't know this until the owner of the Charleston Methadones posted all his players in Discord today that are on a bye. It's almost like an Eric team with all Lions players. He has no Russell Wilson. I'm looking at his teams. No Kamara.
No Lockett.
No Lockett.
Jacobs.
No Jacobs.
Yeah,
no Carr.
Jacobs. Yeah, no Derek. That's huge. So I don't know how Phil weaseled his way into getting this matchup this week.
Pays to suck up to the commish.
Yeah. Because I'm loving his running backs this week. Still not a fan of your quarterbacks, but
I'm not
it doesn't
either.
matter. So I think Phil's going to win this easily.
Phil.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got lucky on this one because otherwise I probably would have lost to the Methadones. But I don't think he has a QB this week, does he, at all? And he's starting.
Unless Alex Smith can get the start in Washington.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Then he has Fan at the OP or the flex position. So
yeah,
hopefully Godwin is back this week. I mean, maybe I won't even need him, hopefully. But Jones is back after a bye this week as well. I don't know how much he's going to be involved because I keep saying over and over again the Bucks Packers might be high scoring, but again he may have some receptions. I don't know. We'll see. Then Derrick Henry versus the Texans. I mean, I just want to see how many more people he's going to stiff arm to the ground. So hopefully I'm not jinxing myself, but I guess I got to go with the Dragons in this one.
All right. So yeah, the bye weeks. The story of this one, Phil. If you lose this one, that's going to be tough.
If I lose this one, I'm going to probably lose like 5 in a row. I thought I was going to until I saw he had players on bye. But
oh goodness, there we go with the snip snap. The Phil trades. I'm in. I'm out. I'm in.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So with this, I'm gonna have to go with the Methadones. Not a lot of analysis needed here. It's just the fact of fantasy, which is also a good segue to why the game of the week is our game of the week. It's the only game.
Okay. Did you mean Methadones or Dragons? You said Methadones.
Going with the Dragons. Sorry.
Okay. Just want to clarify.
Yeah. Our game of the week is the Montrose Mega Powers taking on the Marmette Midnight Riders. The reason for this being the game of the week, it's the only teams that are somewhat there. Not a lot. They have 4 good quarterbacks, I guess. The bye weeks and injuries in this year are starting to really take their toll. So, yeah. Detroit, take it away.
Yeah, this is wasn't expecting this game to be the game of the week.
I fought against this for the listeners at home, just so we know.
Now, people.
Very true.
It's only because it's his team. That's why
I got the receipts.
The people know. The people know. And stop shouting like Mick said, okay?
I know.
Anyways, when I went and looked at this, I do not like the Midnight Riders running backs. Him losing Eckler really hurts. He's throwing out there Williams for Green Bay, Burkhead. I'm just ugh. And Brett, you got some nice matchups. Gurley, I don't know. Is he going to score 10 points this week? Maybe. But Gibson's looking good. I like him. Watson, oh man, I forgot you're running out there with Red Rifle.
That's right, baby.
Nice. I think I'm gonna have to take the Mega Powers. I hate doing it. Sorry, Mike. It pains me to say it, but yeah, Mega Powers this week.
Yeah, the Mega Powers have some really good matchups this week. Got 7 out of 9 guys on offense facing an 18th or worse defense versus their position, and all of them are 11th or worse actually. Then Watson against the Titans, he should have a good game there. That could be a high-scoring game too. Who knows? And this is kind of fitting, I guess, but I forgot to write something down about the Midnight Riders. So basically, I had the Mega Powers winning here. So I guess that's why I did that.
All right. So before, or probably around the same time, there were the Roxanne Lions. There were the Marmette Chargers, and this is a little rough because it's on their bye. So I know Eckler's out, but also Keenan Allen is on bye, so that kind of hurts him too. That's why his running backs and his wide receivers don't look too bad. If G.J. Chark can come back, he got injured last week, so we'll see what happens with that. I do like the matchups. I don't like running out there with 3 Texans, but I have to put Brandon Cooks out there versus Tennessee in that game. Not really super thrilled about that, but I do have it's like at least the second time we've done it this year. All 6 picks are the exact same. Snooze fest, boring, but it is what it is. This is a wild year with some wildly close matchups and some wildly disproportionate matchups. But this one I think will be a good game. But I'm going with the Montrose Mega Powers, and if the Eliminator bug hits me, cancel the season, boys. Real quick, Detroit. What rank is Todd Gurley? Do you know?
I do not know.
He is the running back 11 on the season now.
God.
That's right. That's
There's
right.
a lot of season.
There's a lot of season and not a lot of knee left. So, so we will see with that. So, looking that over, I don't think either of you have anything else to go off of.
No.
Nope.
In our league, we have only got 2 teams that are winless.
Yeah.
You got a lot of teams booked or right there, 3-2 and 2-3. So still,
this year is the new format where it's not 3 from each side. It's the first two, and then next 4. If that makes sense to what I just said.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting.
All right. Oh, quick update here. Just because I opened up the sportsbook to get the line. I know we're a football podcast, but it is 12-0 Dodgers right now.
Oh my God,
dude!
I'm not kidding.
I could have went without hearing that. Seriously.
I knew they were up. I didn't know it was like that. Okay.
I knew that was going to happen. By the way, the last game ended. I knew that was going to happen.
The Braves are due to give up some runs eventually. But yeah, I didn't expect 12-0. All right, so Detroit. Last week, what did we do? I know I lost my lock of the week.
Well, I didn't even give us the records on our picks.
I didn't know if you had them, and I didn't want to embarrass you again more than you're doing it yourself.
No, that's all right.
So go ahead and give.
You and Phil both went 5-1 last week. I went 4-2. Phil is the leader right now at 23-7. Brett, you're in second at 22-8, and I am in last at 21-9. As for our lock of the weeks, I believe Phil was the only one that won. Yes, he had the Titans, and I was shocked about that. But anyways, me and you, Brett, both lost. So now me and Phil are tied at 3-2 with our locks of the week, and Brett, you are 2-3.
Womp womp.
So this week, I'm looking at the lines as we speak. I'm actually going with Green Bay -1 against Tampa.
Anything else to say on that, sir? Oh, wait, real quick, Phil, do you think that game's going to have a lot of points or not so many?
Green Bay and Tampa?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be high scoring. I really do.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, you just set me up for that one? Okay.
You've said it 85 times.
That was the 4th time, not 85.
I just got a text from Mick asking how the recording went, Mick Foley.
Yeah.
And I told him it went good, and he just wanted me to say that he forgot to mention, Brett, you suck.
It was very well hidden and very well done. Phil, your lock of the week, and how can the people get a hold of us?
All right, my lock of the week is the Rams -3.5 at San Francisco. San Francisco is just not looking good, so I don't know if they can stop the Rams.
Did you say 3.5?
3.5, yep.
Okay.
And as always, they can follow all of us on Twitter. They can follow me at Phil Ruxey. They can follow Detroit at Detroit8374. They can follow Brett at BrettStill2. They can follow the show at KDFL Podcast. They can also leave us a message on Anchor or call or text 901-609-KDFL. And we'll read it on, possibly read it on the show, probably censored if there's any profanity in it. And that's all I have. I'm gonna go find a personality real quick.
There you go.
I'm gonna go ahead and head out.
All right, we're gonna do a little bit of reverse jinx that I hate so much, but I'm gonna do it with my lock of the week. I'm taking the Vikings, giving 4 points to the now Dan Quinnless Falcons. I don't see how we stop that offense. Madison, Cook, me, it doesn't matter who plays running back. So, very special episode, boys. Week 5 is in the books. Looking forward to week 6. Thank you again to hardcore legend Mick Foley and for Jonathan Detroit Haynes, for Mr. Phil Ruxey. I'm Brett Steele, and we will see you next week on the KDFL Fantasy Football Podcast. Bye bye.